Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pearl and this is Pearl's Journey. I did not know that this video would be so hard to talk about, but it is because it's real and it happened to me and I live it. I want to share something today that I've held on to for a long time. Um, Before I met Chai's father, I was really hurting deeply. I had and was facing so much abuse. I was coming from a place of hurt. I had gone through so much. I was hurting. I was desperate for love. I just wanted to hear somebody say, I love you. I wanted to feel loved. I was young. I was naive. I was isolated. I had faced so much abuse, mental, emotional, physical, sexual abuse. And I just wanted to be loved. And I met this guy. He was a driver. And at first, he presented himself like an honest person. He told me he had a girlfriend, and they were not getting along, and he was going to leave that girl. And I did not want to get involved in a relationship where the person had somebody already. I didn't want to do that because me coming into this relationship thinking, I am coming serious, I am coming from a place of honesty, and whoever that I get involved with, I want to stay with that person for the rest of my life. That's how naive I was. And he came in and he told me all of these lies. I, coming from where I was coming from, I was not trusting and I was not believing what he was saying. But there was this guy who was his friend, and that person supposedly was my friend as well. I saw that person as a friend because we were living in the same area, we were talking. I considered that person a friend. And that person was telling me, he's been honest. He really like you and he wants to have a relationship with you. And he's going to leave that girl. He's not going to stay with the girl. Blah, 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 blah. And me being dry ground, desperate to get some rain, I gave into it. And I said, okay. And I agreed to be with that person. At first, he seemed to be okay. Um, he was telling me all the right things at the right time, calling on the phone, telling me he loved me before he hung up. And these are things that I wanted to hear, right? And I met him until I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, that's where that's when I saw the other side of this man. He was older than me, and he was telling me that he had a child already. He didn't want to have another child, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, you don't want to have another child. Why didn't you use protection? Why have a girlfriend, right? So he started with all these excuses and asking me to get rid of the baby. And I said, no, I'm not going to get rid of my baby. And my mom said to me, the child's mouth is open. Whatever you eat, the child will eat. Don't get rid of the baby. And I thank God for that support at that time. She told me not to do that. It was not easy. It was not an easy decision to make, but I made the choice to keep my baby because when I got pregnant, people were telling me, ask for a boy. He doesn't have any boys. Maybe then he will want the baby. And I'm like, no, I'm not asking for a boy. I want a girl. And I was praying for me to get a girl. And God blessed me with a girl. But during the time when I was pregnant, He gave me nothing, nothing whatsoever to help me to buy and to prepare for the baby. I had to work. I was working at a boxing plant at the time. I was registering. and I was doing some, I was doing the work, and he didn't help me. He didn't help me with anything. I had to work. I remember one day I was coming from by the road from a store, and I was walking down to go to my home. And I remember just holding my belly, and I was crying. And I was talking to my baby in my belly. And I said to her, "Don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. I will take care of you, and I will love you. You're going to be okay. We are going to be okay." And throughout the pregnancy, I was always talking to her, telling her, "We're going to be okay. You're going to be okay." And I loved this child from the moment I knew I was pregnant. When I got pregnant, I knew I was pregnant. I have no evidence, but it's just my spirit telling me you are pregnant. Now, getting pregnant with this child and having to go back to my abusive parents to tell them that I am pregnant, it wasn't easy. I didn't go to them. I went to my sister and I told my sister, "I believe I'm pregnant." And she told me to go buy a test, where to go buy the test, and then she told me what to do. But finally, I had to face my parents. When I told the man I was pregnant, the man said he doesn't want to have the child, get rid of it. And that was it. And he turned his back on me. Now here I am, young, pregnant, no father. I have to tell my parents that I'm pregnant. My father did not take it nicely. My father told me, "You live in a house of glass and you are sending stone." My father made me feel so bad. I felt so ashamed, so ashamed. I had to go to work. My father was a farmer. He had to go to work. I would leave the house before my father left the house. I would get to the workplace and reach there for 6 o'clock in the morning, way too early for work. I would sit outside because the place was closed. I would sit outside and wait until they opened the place and then go inside. After work, I would go home. I would cook, clean, do whatever it is that I had to do. And I would get myself ready, take a bath, a shower, whatever I had to do. When I was done, I would go into the room when I knew my father was coming, like you would know because you would see. As soon as I heard my father, I would go in my bedroom. We shared a room. I would go in the room and I would stay in that room until the next day. Wake up early whilst my father is still in bed, get myself ready, and go back to work. And this happened over and over and over again because the things that my father was saying, they were not nice. I felt so ashamed. It was not easy, but I was determined to keep my baby and I was not going to get rid of my baby. I remember working throughout the whole 9 months because I had to take care of this child. I had to buy everything that child needed. I had to get ready, have a hospital bag, pack the hospital bag. But one of the things I used to do, I didn't go to town to buy anything. I used to give my mom the money and she would buy the stuff for me and bring it. One of the things I used to do, I used to just, I had already bought a bag and put everything. I would go, I would open the bag, take out a little clothes, a little stuff. I would look at it and that made me feel very happy. And I envisioned my child being here, me taking care of my child, and all of these things. And I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to try to summarize it as fast as possible. And I remember when I had to go to the hospital. We went to the hospital a Saturday, and with my daughter, I had pain, labor pain for 5 days. I suffered with pain. I remember the day before I had her. My mother came to bring me some food. When I ate the food, I vomited everything. I couldn't eat. Nothing was staying inside of me. I threw up everything. And they were worried because they thought I was going to die because 5 days I've been in pain and the baby was just not coming. And they prayed. And I remember in the room there was a lady. She was older than me. And I was very young. And she had already given birth. She had a cesarean section. And I don't know, it's like God placed this woman there to take care of me. And when I went to the bathroom that evening, I went to the bathroom. But before I go there, during the day, she took me to the room, maternity room, where they give birth, the labor room. When we get there, there was this nurse, and I heard the nurse say to another young lady who was in labor, "When you feel the pain, push." So when we went there, she checked and she said I was not ready for delivery yet, so she sent me back. And that evening, I went to the bathroom. I was throwing up. I was just throwing up. And when I went in the bathroom, I felt so weak. I knelt down on the floor. When I knelt down on the floor, I was just crying. I'm on the floor crying. First child, have no experience, don't know what's happening. Nobody can tell me what to expect. I was just crying. I was scared. And she came to look for me, that young woman, and she came to look for me, and I couldn't get up off the floor. I was in so much pain in the belly. And she helped me, and she helped me to get up with all her C-section. She helped me. There were other people who came, watched me, and walked away, did not help me. But this woman helped me, and God bless her. God bless this woman. And she took me back to my bed. And she said, "No, you can't stay here. We got to go back." She took me. She took the basin because you had a little basin, put the diaper, your pad, your underwear, some clothing for the child. And she took me back to the delivery room. When we got there was another woman. She examined me and then she put me on a bed and she left me there. I was the only one in that room and she left me there. And the nurse just, the young lady had to go back. She couldn't stay. But when I say she left me there, I mean the nurse left me there and she went on her business. And I stayed in that room and I'm feeling the pain and I'm feeling the baby is coming. I didn't know what was happening. And when I started to feel that, I was so scared. I started to scream at the top of my lungs. And the baby is coming. And I remember what the first nurse had said: when you feel the pain, push. So, me here, not knowing nothing else than when you feel the pain, push, I started to do that. And I'm screaming. And the baby is already coming out. And then I heard somebody coming, and that was the nurse coming. "Why are you screaming? Why are you screaming?" And she was so upset that I was screaming. I was in that room by myself. And she came and she just cut me, didn't tell me nothing. I guess she was too upset to tell me something. She just cut me and then she told me to push. I pushed and then the baby came out. When the baby came out, she said to me, "You have a girl." I didn't answer. I was so shocked. I was scared. I was traumatized. And then she said to me again, "Did you hear me? You have a girl." And I just nodded my head. And she cleaned the baby. She did whatever she had to do with the baby. She did whatever she had to do with me. And then she held me up. I was so weak. I felt like my midsection was missing something, like I was going to just fall over. So weak, like this part was missing. And I couldn't walk. And she helped me because I was too weak. And she helped me and she put me in a wheelchair. She put the baby in my arm and then she pushed me to the room. When I got to the room, my angel was there waiting for me. This lady was waiting for me. And when I got there, she came to my aid. She helped me to get out of the chair with the nurse, helped me to get in my bed, and she started to talk to me to encourage me. She took care of me at that hospital. God bless her. God bless her baby. I pray that they are both doing well. And I remember laying down in bed. I was feeling
so hungry. I had nothing to eat because there was nothing to eat. It's not like you could call a kitchen and ask for food. There was nothing, so I stayed hungry until the next day. But all of that didn't matter to me. My baby was here. My little girl that I wanted all throughout my pregnancy. I didn't know that I was having a girl because now you can go do ultrasound and find out. But at the time, there was nothing like that where I was. So when I realized I had a little girl, I was so happy. I was so happy. I stayed in bed with her. I could not fall asleep because I'm like, Lord, I have a little girl, I have a baby, and everything that I had gone through at that time didn't matter. The pain, forgot all about it, and I'm there with her. And I remember that night they had carnival at the Mindufili Park because I could hear it at the hospital. And I remember praying over my daughter and asking God to protect her, and to save her in His kingdom when He comes. And I was just praying over her. I was so happy to have a little girl. And her father, it didn't matter no more. It just didn't matter. That night, this little girl sweat so much because they had put a vest on her, put a little outfit on her, put socks, put hat. That little child sweat so much. And I'm like, Lord, she's going to get sick because everything is wet on her. And I said to the other lady, my little angel right there, I said to her, she is wet because she sweat. And she told me, take out everything and put something else. And I'm like, I don't want her to catch a draft because if I take out everything, her body will be exposed. So she said to me, okay, take out the top layer and put something else on her. And that's what I did. And she stayed in the bed. My daughter weighed 7 pounds, 4 ounces. And the next day, the doctors examined me. I was fine. My daughter was fine. And I had to go bathe her. I was so scared to bathe her. And I didn't. I went there. I just passed a rag on her. And I remember the the after she was born, the second day after she was born, I'm like, what am I doing here? You know, I don't have nobody to help me pay that bill, the hospital bill. I have to pay all of that on my own. The doctor has already discharged me, but they want to keep the baby, and there's nothing wrong with the baby. So why am I still here? And I was talking to the lady, and she was leaving too, and she told me if you don't want to stay, I spoke to the doctor too, and they told me if you don't want to stay, you can go to this room there. You can talk to the people and ask them that you want to be discharged, and the baby has to be discharged too. And that's what I went to do. I went in, I spoke to them, and I said, "There's nothing wrong with me. I have been discharged. There's nothing wrong with the baby. So why do you guys want me to stay here another night? I can't afford to pay that." And they were like, "If we send you home, anything happened to you or the baby, you are responsible." I said, "That's fine," and I signed the paper. The doctor was so upset with me because I wanted to leave with the baby, but I signed the paper and they sent me home. Um, that same so-called friend, they asked him to come pick me up at the hospital to give him a trip. He came, but instead of the guy, he charged me a full price for the trip. Instead of the guy picking me up and taking me to my home, the guy went back to the bus stop, pulled up his vehicle, and drove. And then I had to pay him the full price, plus he had a van full of people. That was really unfair, and that tells me that this guy was never a friend. So, anyways, we went home. But this little girl, the day before I went home, that child was crying so much at the top of her lungs. And I'm like, Lord, what am I supposed to do? She didn't want me to put her down. She didn't want me to hold her as a baby. She wanted me to put her on my shoulder. That's the only place that this child would stay and not cry. I remember when the driver dropped us off by the road, we had to walk down to my home because vehicles couldn't go there. And I remember carrying her on my shoulder because that's the only place she would stay. And this lady who was a friend said, "You can't carry her there. You're gonna open the back or do whatever." And I'm like, "This is the only place she will stay. No, you have to hold her a certain way. Don't put her on the shoulder. You're gonna harm her." I'm like, "How am I gonna harm her? She's not staying, Lord Jesus. What am I supposed to do? Put her down, she's crying." I'm like, you know what? She's gonna be fine by the grace of God. And this is where I was carrying her a lot. And when I got home, y'all, my father was sitting under the almond tree with He was lying down under the almond tree, and I had to pass by my father to go inside. The shame, all the shame came back. The fear, the anxiety. I had no choice. I had to pass there. And honestly, I was passing my father straight with the baby. I said good afternoon, and I was passing straight with my child. And my mother's like, "Oh, you're not going to show him the baby?" And then I went back, I gave him the baby. I did not stay there. I went in my house, in the house. But another thing I forgot to mention, whilst I was at the hospital when I gave birth, some people from the child's father came to the hospital purposefully to see if the child was his child, because he went about telling people this child was not his child. I was pregnant for somebody else. And the audacity of this man, Lord Jesus, I do not understand it. The audacity of that man to go spread rumors and lies is just unbelievable. But you know what? This is my past. Right now, I'm better off. These people came to the hospital to see for real if this child was his child. When the child was born, the child was the exact spitting image of this man. Even the haircut, the child had it. And these people said, but that's his child. The child looked like him. That's how I knew that, because these people were not my friend. We had never spoken before. And the audacity of these people, for real, coming to the hospital just to see if the child was this man's child. But anyway, I hope the appetite was full, because they knew, they saw exactly, and they said it. But that's his child. Of course, that's his child. Anyways, when I got home, gave my father the child, I didn't stay there because I was feeling too ashamed. I went inside. When I got in there, I had already given my mother money to buy food to cook for me. And every time my mother was coming to the hospital, I had to give her money to buy food and to cook it for me and to bring it for me. That's it, y'all. I had to spend for everything. I had to spend money. I had to spend the money. For food, I had to pay to buy the food and to bring it for me. And when I got there, there was food. Some people came to see. They came to see. I sat there with them. I ate some food. Thank God they cooked the food for me. I was happy and I'm grateful. And yeah, I had my baby. I had my little girl. Y'all, I love this girl so much. I used to comb this child 3 times a day. This child was not dirty. Making sure that she smelled good, putting powder on her, making sure I had my baby oil to rub her, making sure I to moisturize the skin, making sure I had my coconut oil for the hair and for the body. I had all of that for her. Her little clothes I didn't have, I stayed without, and I gave her. Every time I went to town to buy something, I would leave myself behind and buy for her. I remember my little sister, she was the one coming to visit me. She was working in a lawyer's office, a secretary. She's a secretary. She was a secretary there, and she every lunchtime she used to leave the office, come to the hospital to see me. I remember she used to buy stuff for my daughter. She bought the bath pan. She bought the flask. She would buy as if that was her child. God bless you, Donna. She used to buy these things and come to visit. In the morning back home, you usually wake up, take the child, and go, and in the cool breeze early morning, go for a walk with the child, take the child out for a walk. I was too ashamed to do that, y'all. So many things had been said about me, so many lies, and to face my father, I could not. So my little sister Donna used to take the baby and go walk with her, take her around, just walk with her. People even thought that this child was hers. She used to help me that much. God bless you, Don. Thank you. Thank you. I can never forget it. Thank you. And yeah, she was there with me like she was the mother of this child. I remember my other sister. I was so afraid. I didn't know how to handle the baby. She would go to work. I would call her and ask her to take the time off and come so she can help me. I was going through so much depression because remember, at that time, the memories of what my brother had done to me came back. The sexual abuse, it came back, and I was so scared. So I used to call and ask her if she could come. I am scared. And I didn't tell her what was going on. Sometimes she would come. She was the one helping me to bathe the baby until I was confident enough to bathe the baby. Thank you. So yeah, and with all that depression, suffering, anxiety, My father, I believe, thought that I was going to die. And this is where he said he would send me away. But the mistake I made, I left my daughter behind because he said so. So I left my daughter behind. I should never have agreed to leave my daughter behind and go. I should never have agreed to do that. And that's the part that is the hardest for me. The fact that I had to leave her for 2 years. I sent for her the first year. She couldn't stay. And then, not 2 years, 3 years. The first year. And then I had to wait another 2 years to take my child. And that, within that time, a lot of damage had been done. And I pray to God that one day things are going to be different. I love her so much. We were inseparable. Inseparable. This is my firstborn, my first experience, my first everything. No one can take that place. Nothing can make it better. Nothing can take anything away from it. I did all I could, send her to school, give her nice clothes, give her nice shoes, comb her, making her know that she is loved. And nobody was going to be talking about my child. I gave nobody the space to gossip about my child. Her father was not in her life. Her father took the high road. I stayed. I took care of her. I gave her everything that I could. I stayed without. And I gave her everything. This is my first child. Yeah. And I left that man. Well, I didn't leave him. He left me. He walked away. After that, he tried to come back, but no. It didn't work out. It will never work out. And I'm not here to throw shades on nobody. I just said what happened. And I'm going to stop this video now because there is more. There's more to it. But I'm going to stop this video now. I want to say to anybody who's going through this right now, have gone through it, I know there comes, this thing carries a lot of shame. And maybe you're thinking you cannot do it. It's too hard. Yes, it's hard. Yes, there is a lot of shame. Because when you got involved with that person, I don't think you just got involved with that person for getting involved with someone's sake. I believe that you got involved thinking that whatever that person is telling you is the truth. But that person has lied to you. You are now a mother, or you are becoming a mother. Don't give up on your child because this child needs you. And I'm telling you, as women, there is a lot of strength that we carry. And I'm telling you, you can do it. You will be able to take care of that child. And you will be so happy that you did not make that decision that the person wanted you to make. You're going to be so happy that you did not get rid of that child. That child needs you, and that child needs your love. That child will ask you a lot of questions about his or her father. Questions you may not even have answers to. That child might even blame you, which is my situation as well. But you know what? You do everything that you can do for this child. Love this child unconditionally. Be there for that child. You are equipped. God has equipped you for it. Yes, it's not your job only. But as a woman, you know that we are stuck with the child because we are the one carrying the child, not the man. Love your child regardless. That child deserves it. You see, for me, the man asked me to get rid of the child. I said no. I kept my child. I kept my baby. I fought for her. I loved her even before she was born. And I'm telling you, that love you have for a child, it doesn't compare to any other love. You just have this love that I just cannot explain. This unconditional love that you have for your child. And nothing can erase that love. Nothing, no matter what they do, no matter what people do, nothing, absolutely nothing can erase the love that you have for your child. It doesn't matter how much this child has done to you, no matter what, that love is just there. It cannot be erased, it cannot be taken away. So it doesn't matter what the father says, it doesn't matter what other people say. Love your child, take care of your child, and your reward is with God. Not the child, not the man, not other people. It's God. So this is part of my story. Pearl's journey continues.